Long before mixed martial arts transformed into a highly corporate sport filled with smooth marketing and clean athletic facilities, Don Frye was the ultimate alpha. Emerging from the rugged landscapes of Arizona, he built an exceptional physical foundation through elite collegiate wrestling and professional boxing. Don did not care about internet fame or calculated pre-fight drama. His primary weapon was a powerful, mustache-wearing silhouette that radiated absolute danger. He entered the early combat circuit as a terrifying force of nature, carrying an intense, stoic demeanor that instantly struck fear into his opponents. With a deeply packed muscular frame, an elite wrestling pedigree, and a boxing right hand that could shatter concrete walls, he systematically cleared the division. Frye proved early on that his old-school grit could easily conquer any specialized style, setting a brutal, legendary standard for the entire global pioneer era. What truly transformed Don Frye into an absolute mythical figure within the international combat community was his legendary dominance at UFC 8 and 9. Entering the famous tournament format, he destroyed 3 different opponents in a single night with a terrifying display of explosive power. He combined his superior wrestling takedowns with a highly violent ground-and-pound style, refusing to give his rivals a single second of breathing space to recover on the canvas. He captured the tournament crown and later secured the prestigious Ultimate 96 trophy, proving to the world that he was the absolute king of the early octagon. He did not look for safe, boring point victories. He fought to completely dismantle his opponent's structural defense and physical spirit. That clinical, aggressive approach turned his early bouts into high-octane spectacles, establishing the Predator as a premier pay-per-view attraction worldwide. The absolute historical pinnacle of Don's professional career reached an iconic, legendary status when he traveled across the ocean to compete in Pride FC. Inside the packed Japanese stadiums, his raw, old-school masculinity and profound respect for warrior honor made him an instant cultural icon. Standing proudly under the blinding arena lights, he engaged in massive, high-stakes battles against the greatest international heavyweight giants of the 20th century. He embraced the brutal rules of the Japanese ring, delivering soccer kicks and heavy knees with the absolute precision of a seasoned mercenary. He was no longer just an American wrestling champion, he was a global combat phenomenon, a legendary symbol of raw power who carried the torch of authentic competition worldwide. Frye proved to the passionate crowds that a true fighter does not fear pain, but welcomes the fire if it leads to ultimate sports immortality. What truly separated Don Frye from almost every other heavyweight fighter in history was his legendary, high-stakes battle against Yoshihiro Takayama. At Pride 21, the two massive warriors locked into a collar anti-clinch and immediately began trading hundreds of uncovered, brutal punches. They held each other's heads with absolute ferocity, unleashing heavy right hooks directly into each other's faces without a single second of defensive movement. The historic, visceral exchange left both men deeply swollen and bloodied, creating the single most iconic, violent imagery in combat sports history. Don eventually secured the technical knockout victory, but the final result mattered far less than the breathtaking display of pure human endurance. That legendary bout transcended standard athletic parameters, cementing Frye's reputation as an immortal warrior who possessed a jaw-dropping, unbreakable iron chin. The true depth of Don's legendary status within modern combat sports history was definitively cemented when he was rightfully inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. He retired with an incredibly rich record packed with fast knockouts, historic tournament wins, and unforgettable wars across multiple global organizations. He did not achieve immortality through internet clout. He built his legacy with broken knuckles, a bloody face, and an absolute dedication to the fight. He carried the heavy responsibility of being a combat pioneer with immense pride, serving as a shining example of old-school work ethic and authentic warrior honor. On a modern sports stage that eventually became dominated by massive egos and calculated media drama, Don remained a true, authentic fighter's fighter. His iconic image, marked by a classic mustache and a fierce gaze, will always represent the golden era of pure, unfiltered combat. When Don Frye finally decided to permanently lay down his historic fingerless leather gloves, a spectacular, unforgettable chapter of sports history officially concluded. He entered the fighting world as a tough, quiet collegiate wrestler and left it as one of the most respected, influential legends to ever live. His incredible life journey serves as a powerful reminder that raw grit, true honor, and an unbreakable warrior heart will always stand the test of time. Future generations of mixed martial artists will continually study his legendary Pride wars and his clinical boxing power, trying in vain to replicate his unique magic. He showed the entire world that a real champion could achieve immortality by remaining fiercely true to his roots, fighting the absolute best, and letting his heavy hands speak clearly. The Predator has permanently etched his name in gold, leaving an unforgettable mark in history.